that they'll be sick.
On 100.7 W.
Grab $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie. Then we'll start it all over again tomorrow morning with Rover. I think next Friday will be the end of this round of money for you. So you still have plenty, about 13 chances every day. So you still have plenty of chances. There's simply no way to know how many chances remain through next Friday. But there it is. I was reading about how now Hulu is diving into stand-up. There's never been a better time for stand-up comedy. You know, these streamers really catapulted previously relatively obscure comedians to new heights because, you know, it's a global audience. And a lot of people around the world speak English. And it's been very, very good for Netflix. It's been good for, you know, everybody's kind of...
They're inexpensive to make.
Right.
Yeah.
So Hulu has got something where they're going to be doing monthly stand-up specials. It's called Hulu's Laughing Now. Get it? Mm-hmm. Jim Gaffigan will be the premiere stand-up special the week of Thanksgiving, November 22nd. This is another announcement they made at the upfronts when they talk to advertisers. So Hulu is getting into the stand-up game.
This is good news.
Did you sell your thing to Hulu?
I haven't sold it to anybody yet, but...
Did Hulu acquire your thing?
They're one of the places that could, so we'll see.
This will be Jim Gaffigan's 11th televised hour.
That's crazy.
He did it for Prime. He did the first one for
Amazon,
Prime, yeah. Netflix, this one he taped at the Wilbur in Boston at the beginning of the year. So they're going to be adding a whole lot of stand-up to the Hulu library. And they're going to be doing them once a month. A new hour from comedians that you love.
Yeah, that could... if they're just trying to, like, fill up a catalog, I might be one of those, like, grab that one.
There you go.
Get it.
Yep.
We'll see.
You know, they say that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And I heard from one of our bureau chiefs in Maine who sent me the story. Remember when that nurse called us from Maine? I think this was
from
near.
Maine.
From
born,
Maine.
Born and raised.
Born and raised in Lewiston, Maine. And how's life? What do you do there in Lewiston, Maine?
Oh, I'm sitting right here with my coworker at St. Mary's Lewiston Medical Center. We're a phlebotomist. Hello.
Hi, I love it.
Phlebotomist?
Oh my God, I love a good Maine phlebotomist.
Wait, let's check the deep stuff. When's the last time you saw comedian Bob Marley live?
Comedian Bob Marley. Well, actually, it's been since before COVID because I actually just moved back home from Ohio. That's how I found out about you guys. I saw Bill Squire about a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. One of our other Maine bureau chiefs sent me the story about a guy in Ellsworth, Maine, who was the former police chief, a guy named Glenn Mosher. He was the former police chief there in Ellsworth, Maine, and he was fired because he was drunk on the job.
Hell yeah.
And he's just announced he's opening a brewery.
Perfect.
Listen, this guy didn't want to be a cop. He wanted to be a guy running a brew pub. And it took some embarrassing situation for him to follow his bliss. You can be drunk on the job there. He's opening a new brewery and restaurant with some partners right there in Maine. They're not far from the water. So it's going to be great for those guys.
Putting the serve into protect and serve.
Mary Santora, 2 shows tonight.
Yes.
If you are in the greater New York metropolitan area.
West Side
7 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
Yeah, look at you remembering.
Cavaliers will play tonight.
7 o'clock.
That's a 7 o'clock start. You'll hear it over there on WTAM 1100, the home of Bill Wills.
Ah, Bill Wills.
There's no one better than William Wills, Esquire. You know, this meeting that we had today was for advertisers. And so we were all down the hall here in our big new Duncan Lounge, right? And the lights and the cameras and the whole bit. And a bunch of us were up there as part of a talent panel. And it's me and it's the lovely Leanne Summers there at WGAR. And Rover, of course, and me. And Bill Wills. There's no one better, right? He had that crowd in the palm of his hand. I had to make a couple of dumb jokes just to get it back from Bill Wills. This guy.
And boy, did ya.
Boy, did you.
Oh, you did great.
Friends, it's Bill Wills for whatever.
Bill
fill in
Wills.
the blank. Friends, it's Bill Wills for fill in the blank. You could.
You have a blank, I'll fill it.
I will fill your blank.
Bill Wills.
Anyway, Cavs, TAM tonight. It is a must-win game for the Cavaliers. We just heard breaking news here on the show moments ago. Timothy Mozgov will be tapping in for the Cleveland Cavaliers since they are down a Donovan Mitchell. They're down a Jarrett Allen. And again, they're not going to, listen, you're not going to put a guy like Donovan Mitchell in on a game that you're not going to ruin the guy when you'd have to win a handful more games to take the series, right?
Well,
He's like,
if he's too hobbled to play, you can't.
Yeah, but these guys, they shoot their knees up full of all kinds of stuff. If it's
a calf muscle.
they shoot their calves full of all kinds of stuff.
Can't function, and you can't.
So they're down did you say they were down a Karis LeVert?
He's questionable.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder which way that'll go.
My guess is he won't play.
Are they down one or two Mobleys?
No, they got both Mobes.
Are they down an Imani Bates?
Yeah. But he hasn't played all postseason.
Are they down a Tristan Thompson?
No, he'll play.
Are they down a Dean Wade?
He'll play. He just made it. He finally came back, and he's been playing pretty decent.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Ty Jerome?
Yeah.
Are they down him?
I don't think so.
Are they
Alan, Bill, Mary, just wanted to weigh in on is a cat a sandwich or a salad? And I have to disagree. Cats are sandwiches because you wouldn't pick up a salad with both hands and take a bite. You would use a fork. So if you were going to eat a cat, you would pick the cat up and take a bite. Just my 2 cents. Love the show.
I literally carry my cat around the apartment with a fork. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
But you take a bite.
Well, no, I don't take a bite. Sometimes I smell her real hard, but
You smell her real hard.
yeah, like
Do you
I'll
ever
put-
smell her softly?
Sometimes, but I'll
You
like
put your face in her fur.
in her head, like I grab her little
sniff.
head, and I got her head, and then I say, "Why do you smell so good?" Like that.
Does she dislike that?
She don't really care.
Does she
dude.
try to wriggle away?
No, she's a pretty chill cat.
Is this after she's been recently bathed or what?
No, I've never bathed my cat a day.
Then
in
how
her
can she
life.
possibly smell
'Cause
good?
She smells good, like her little cat pheromones.
Gross.
I love that cat.
Like when my dog comes back from the groomer and she's freshly trimmed and
Yeah.
they've got the little sweet bandana on her, right?
Yeah.
And she smells like lavender or whatever they do. That's a great smell for an animal. A cat.
Behind her ears, she smells
smells like
her.
smells like spoilt milk.
No, you've never smelled a cat. She smells like
I've smelled
her-
plenty of cats.
She smells like her scent, and I can't describe it. Almost like a nutty, like an almondy flavor behind her ears. And I sniff it and I squeeze her head. And I tell her, I want to kiss you, I'll make you pop.
Wow, I'm going to kiss you till I make you pop.
I love her.
You know, that was how I proposed to Gwen.
Squeezed her and smelled her behind her ears.
Said I want to kiss you until I make you pop.
It's the only way.
Yeah, well, it was midnight in Paris. That's all we could do. Alan, my brother-in-law, works for the federal government there in D.C., and when a president dies, all the federal employees get the day off. So they've been waiting on Carter to sign off for good for about a year. You get a free day when Carter... They go, oh, no. Anyway, I'll be at the park. Alan, is it true that Pornhub is also in talks to acquire Bill's special? Is that true?
That was not that I know of. They're not really.
They're not in the mix?
for stand-up. I think Polk put his on there.
Well, yeah.
You can just upload it.
That's why these questions
But-
are... Oh, you could just do that?
Yeah,
Well, that kind of defeats the purpose,
Right.
though. Yeah.
that's like YouTube, where you can like upload your own videos there.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, you can put your own videos on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Don't blow your
man.
mind, but yeah.
Wow.
Wait till you hear about ours.
I thought you had to sell them all to like a middle, somebody had to acquire them and then posted them.
No,
Wow.
This show's on there every day, Alan.
Really?
Every single day. You don't listen to the show, you don't know.
I
And
thought
it's not
that
acquired.
I thought that it had to be nothing but high quality content. That's why so much stuff on YouTube is just top notch.
And facts.
Right. I got money for you. Last chance today to win some. It's $1,000 courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. So good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Alan, this is Rich down in Jacksonville, Florida, listening back to the podcast from yesterday. You guys are discussing obesity and businesses in the UK trying to implement requirements for fat people. And somebody made the comment that this would never happen in the USA because you get sued. But do you guys know that the U.S. military currently enforces height and weight regulations, and they want you to look a certain way in uniform, and if you are overweight, you're put on a diet and forced to exercise more, and it's just not talked about. Hate the show. Bye.
Yeah, that's the military, though.
I don't disagree with that at all.
What my point was, you could never do this in this country, just the general population, right? Yes, of course, the military, but you'll also notice that the military is constantly complaining about people who are trying to go into the military are too fat. So once you're in there, I'm sure they have all kinds of regulations. But they're like, we need cannon fodder. And the next generation of people that we're trying to recruit are too out of shape.
I mean,
So that's the existential crisis. Why do you think they're working so hard on robots and drones to fight, which they should be doing anyway, rather than sending American men and women over to wherever? But they're too fat to fight. So yeah, when you get in there, they're like, hey, watch what you're doing. But I have to think that people who are in the military already, I mean, obviously there's fundamental discipline that goes along with that, and I have to think that extends to taking care of yourself. You want to be fit.
And we want a fit military.
Right.
I want to get over there and everybody's too out of breath.
You don't like Meal Team 6?
No.
So, I mean, my point when you were talking about Japan, the general population, where they're like, oh, yeah, you might get a fine if you go over. That would never, ever happen here.
Yeah, that was just like
We're too into body positivity.
Well, not even that. I think it's just we have too many rights.
Too many rights.
I'm not saying take them away, but I am
which
saying
rights should we take away?
We don't have.
No,
I'm saying that there's no restrictions. Like
we don't
it's
have
your
too
right
many.
To be as fat as you want to be.
Right. But that's not an issue of having too many rights.
They don't have as many rights as we do in Japan.
Right. It's just
That's
a
what I'm
different
saying.
situation here.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. This country's hella big. You have, it's not like a country that has one kind of person there. Everybody in Japan is Japanese. Other than the odd gaijin running around. But yeah, it wouldn't happen here. And quite frankly, nor should it. If our healthcare system wasn't so irretrievably broken, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it is, and it is. Thank you, Rich.
What's wrong with our healthcare system?
Mary, see me after the show, will you?
I can't.
Mary, see me during the show, will you?
I'm right here.
Rich there in Jacksonville, who pokes his head in quite a bit. The Jaguars down there in Jacksonville, who have, every time that it's very similar to the Brown situation with the Haslams, right? Every time, or any city, where they toss out maybe we'll just move the team. And Jacksonville, I mean, the Jaguars are all they've got going for them on the sports front. It's a little bit of a higher climb here in Cleveland if you want to threaten those kinds of things, because there are multiple professional sports franchises. But Jacksonville, you got the Jaguars. And so they had been on that list of teams that were always rumored to be moving, right? Like 15 years, they're going to move the Jaguars to L.A., right? Before the Chargers moved there, they were like, it's going to be and then they were like, they're moving them to London.
Yeah.
They were always talking about moving to London because the NFL wants to get a foothold there. And the guy who owns the Jags is this guy, Shahid Khan. And he wanted to buy Wembley Stadium.
You can't call him that.
I'm sorry?
Not on the radio.
Shahid Khan.
Oh, I thought you said something
Not
else.
Shahid. Shahid. He's the richest Pakistani American in the world.
Who's
He
second?
he also co-owns AEW Wrestling and I think a couple of soccer clubs. But I love but they're like Jacksonville and the Jaguars agree to a new stadium, right? So it didn't even go to a general vote to the taxpayers, who are the people who are going to be paying for this. Basically, the city and the team were like, let's figure this out. Let's just, us two, sit down and hammer this out. That's fun. So they got a 30-year lease and a non-relocation agreement for the Jacksonville Jaguars with no public input. The city is going to pay $1.4 billion in Jacksonville taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very exciting. Now, if you live in Jacksonville.
Duval, or whatever they say.
Yeah, they do. Duval. Yeah. And you couldn't care less about the Jaguars. That's less fun for you. Jacksonville says that they won't levy any new taxes to pay for the rebuild, but a lot of people are kind of rolling their eyes at that. But they're going to get a new stadium and blah, blah, blah. Very exciting. Because you figure, a city like Jacksonville, you can't let your one franchise skip town. You got to keep them there.
That makes them tons of money. It's actually a good investment for them.
For the city?
Yeah.
I mean, none of that trickles down. That's the argument against taxpayer money. You know, it's the age-old argument.
Hey, bring
How
people
about
downtown to restaurants and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
but, I mean, if you're kicking in taxpayer money and then you're getting charged to go to the games.
Yeah, it's not going.
That's my point.
Right.
Free game.
Yeah, you're paying for it twice.
Yeah.
But the businesses.
What if you don't own a business? What if you're just a regular dude? It's great
You
for
want to
the
watch your football team.
It's
So
great
you're
for
like,
the
hey,
business owners,
I'm
but
gonna
most
just
people
let
don't
these
own a
billionaires
business.
do what they want.
Yeah. So when people make the umpteenth argument for maybe the billionaires should pay for the stuff they
I
want,
absolutely think so. But
it doesn't go that way, though.
Right, because they'll just go, we'll just move to someplace where we'll make more money or
where we want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The implication being, we don't really want to be in Jacksonville.
Right.
So you better make it worth our while. And I guess you have to in that situation. A lot of other cities, they got a bit more wiggle room. I'm sure there's all kinds, for all the conversations about whether or not there's going to be some new stadium in Brook Park, all of the people who own businesses out in that area, of course, they're like, oh, it'd be great. We would love to have a new stadium, except that they're going to be building all kinds of new, ostensibly, new entertainment venues. So it's not like
all those strip clubs will be brought out.
What do you mean?
There's like...
Oh, bought out.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those strip clubs right there on Brook Park Road. They're not going to have that still be there.
No, but if you're running a strip club on Brook Park Road, you're dying to sell to somebody. Please buy this off of me.
They would want that area to be more family friendly.
Yeah.
It's all used cars and...
You're looking to cash out. I mean, you can't...
They can move they can relocate all the strip clubs to the Muni lot.
There you go. Yeah.
Put them all there.
Yeah. You could launder your money all in one central location.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But it's all very exciting conversation for the people down there in Jacksonville. Or if you're a Dolphins fan, you got OBJ now. That's exciting too.
He died.
That would be LBJ, I think is who you're thinking of. Lyndon Baines Johnson?
No.
I'm thinking of
OJ.
I'm thinking of OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr.
No, she's thinking of Orenthal Jane.
O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he died too.
Y'all made me some real lightweight slacks. Make these a half-inch bigger in the waist. Make the pockets at least an inch longer. My money and my knife and everything fall out. Wait just a minute. Now, another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight because they cut me under there. Let's see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends round under my back to my bunghole.
Yeah. Alan, they aren't implementing new taxes because the county is closing over 50% of the public schools next year down here.
Oh, there you go.
That's the fine print. Right. There's always some fine print. No. We don't need to hit you guys up for closing all the schools. Oh, cool. So people who previously had their kid in a public school, they'll have to figure out another way to either homeschool them or put them in some kind of parochial school situation. I'll get a break. You want to send me a text, 35192. If you don't want to do that, the number is 35192.